Good evening, you're watching the news from the Sultanate of Oman television. First, the headlines. The UN aid chief says the Yemen blockade needs to be fully wound down. The UN-mediated Syria talks continue in Geneva in the latest push to find a political settlement to the nearly 7-year civil war. And militants storm an agriculture research institute in northwest Pakistan, killing 12. Those were the headlines, and now for the news in detail. His Majesty Sultan Qaboos has sent a cable of greetings to His Highness Sheikh Khalifa bin Zayed Al Nahyan of the United Arab Emirates on his country's 46th National Day. His Majesty the Sultan also sent a similar cable to His Excellency President Boon Hang Vorachith of Laos on his country's National Day. United Nations Humanitarian Affairs Chief Mark Lowcock said today that the Saudi-led military coalition must fully lift its blockade on Yemen, where 7 or 8 million are right on the brink of famine. Lowcock said that the blockade has been partially wound down, but it needs to be fully wound down to avoid an atrocious humanitarian tragedy involving the loss of millions of lives, the likes of which the world has not seen for many decades. A Syrian government delegation headed by Syrian ambassador to the United Nations, Bashar Jafari, met with the UN Special Envoy for Syria, Staffan de Mistura, today in the latest push to find a political settlement to the nearly 7-year civil war in Syria. The 8th round of peace talks got underway in Geneva on Tuesday with a revamped and expanded opposition team. The meeting marks the latest and perhaps most promising attempt by de Mistura to jolt new life into the so far largely ineffective UN-mediated talks. The Syrian civil war has left over 400,000 dead, driven at least 11 million people from their homes, and turned into a proxy war for regional and world powers. Myanmar's civilian leader Aung San Suu Kyi met today with Chinese President Xi Jinping in Beijing as international criticism over her country's persecution of Rohingya Muslims continues to grow. China has studiously avoided criticizing the crisis, and the official news agency did not say whether the issue came up in the meeting. China was expected to push in their talks for Myanmar to restart a dam project, which was suspended after overwhelming local opposition. Suu Kyi is in Beijing to attend a gathering of delegates from more than 200 political parties from around the world, hosted by China's ruling Communist Party, which last month reappointed Xi to a second 5-year term as its leader. Xi delivered a speech to the gathering's opening ceremony and met with Cambodian Prime Minister Hun Sen. Militants stormed a provincial government complex for agriculture research in the northwestern city of Peshawar today, killing 12 students and wounding 35 others. Police and military troops killed 5 attackers during a firefight and while clearing the complex. The main Taliban militant group, Tehrik-e-Taliban Pakistan, claimed responsibility. Police chief of Khyber Pakhtunkhwa province said attackers opened fire on the main gate of a provincial agricultural department complex, initially wounding 2 guards and 2 students. 3 attackers clad in women's burqas then reached the gate in a rickshaw and opened fire to clear their way to the building. The ensuing firefight left 9 dead and dozens more injured. Security forces in the clearance operation seized an explosive vest, hand grenades and several assault rifles that the attackers had been carrying. Heavy rains and strong winds caused by a tropical storm continued to hit the Sri Lanka's southern, western and south-central areas for the second consecutive day today. The tropical storm has killed at least 7 people and left 5 fishermen missing, bringing down trees across main roads and on houses, warning of landslides and flooding in severely hit areas. More than 50,000 people have been affected so far. Tens of thousands of houses were without power when trees fell on power lines and strong winds uprooted power pylons. The government deployed the military to keep roads cleared from fallen trees. Rivers in the south of the country overflowed while tens of thousands of fishermen stayed away from the rough seas. A strong earthquake of magnitude 6 shook southeastern Iran today. Students from Shahid Chamran University in Kerman province ran out to the courtyard after the tremor shook the city in the early hours of the morning. Head of Relief and Rescue Organization of Iran's Red Crescent said that at least 42 people were wounded. State media said no deaths had been reported. The quake had caused heavy damage in Hajdag village, and some villages were hit by power and water cuts. Authorities said emergency shelter, food and water had been sent to the quake-hit areas. Still to come in our news bulletin. On the occasion of the 47th Glorious National Day, an arts exhibition is organized in the Governorate of Buraymi. Welcome back to the news from the Sultanate of Oman Television. Now for some local news. Thousands of people turned out this morning in Al Qurum Nature Park to raise awareness about diabetes under the auspices of His Excellency Dr. Ahmed Al Saidi, Minister of Health. More details in the following report by Abdullah bin Ahmed Al Rubai.
The annual Beat Diabetes Walk witnessed overwhelming participation of more than 10,000 people of all ages in Al Qurum Nature Park in a bid to raise awareness about diabetes and promote the benefits of a healthier lifestyle. The 3 kilometers walk has been organized by Landmark Group in collaboration with the Oman Diabetes Association, kicked off this morning under the auspices of His Excellency the Minister of Health. This annual Beat Diabetes Walkathon is one of the largest community events in the Sultanate.
We all know that non-communicable diseases and the major examples of them, diabetes, heart disease, cancer and chronic respiratory diseases, are related to unhealthy lifestyles. Therefore, events like this should encourage people to live healthy lifestyle, and by healthy lifestyles we mean increasing the physical activities at least 30 minutes a day. We should be active physically. Also avoiding unhealthy diet, stopping smoking and reduce alcohol intake. This is an event just to remind us about the importance of non-communicable diseases and diabetes, and what I am hoping that the media, all of them, whether social media or conventional media, to be with us as they've been, thanks to them, to lead these awareness campaigns about the danger of these diseases, the cost, both human cost and financial cost. So I thank everybody who is participating today in addition to the organizer, and I wish them a very pleasant and enjoyable day.
This kind of activities bring more awareness to the people for a healthy lifestyle.
We have to be united in this course to support a healthy lifestyle.
Walking is good for health, and here we are, Beat Diabetes.
I'm happy to be here. It's nice to be here for the thon.
Indeed, it is nice to be here for the walkathon to raise awareness and help more people lead a healthier lifestyle. The national screening program conducted by the Minister of Health monitor people aged above 40 years, and there is a rising trend in the later every year. Earlier in the morning, starting 7 o'clock, Al Qurm Nature Park buzzed with participants in blue T-shirts and caps. The MSC for the walkathon stepped up the momentum with live music and entertainment.
Come over and start up a conversation with just me, and trust me, I'll give it a chance. Now take my hand.
And there was lots of fun activities for kids and families, along with free blood sugar testing stations.
It's good to walk for a healthy lifestyle.
Yes, we are all walking to beat diabetes. Abdullah bin Ahmed Al-Rubi'i, Sultanate of Oman Television, Al Qurm Nature Park.
The Omani Society for Writers and Literati organized a cultural evening in the Governorate of Dhofar, coinciding with the 47th Glorious National Day. It witnessed a participation from a number of poets and those interested in national poems. The poets delivered poems praising His Majesty the Sultan and the achievements realized during His Majesty's glorious reign at all levels and walks of life. It is worth mentioning that such events aim to shed light on various types of poetry around the Governorate, as well as attract the youth talents to join the Omani Society for Writers and Literati so as to play a great role in the cultural and intellectual movement around the Sultanate. Rejoicing the 47th Glorious National Day, citizens in the Walaya of Wadi Al-Ma'awil in the Governorate of South Bartana organized a national evening to celebrate this glorious occasion. It included artistic performances by a group of children, in addition to poetic sessions, as well as Omani singing arts and traditional dances performed by the youth. The event came to embody meanings of allegiance and loyalty to the beloved leader and the country. The event witnessed a huge participation from members of the society and government officials. During the celebration, the participants expressed sincere greetings and wishes on this glorious occasion, asking the Almighty to return such happy occasions on His Majesty with health and to Oman and its nation with permanent welfare. The ceremony was presided over by His Highness Sayyid Mohammed bin Salim Al Saeed. An arts exhibition was organized in the Governorate of Brahmi on the occasion of the 47th Glorious National Day. The event included 32 photographs that highlight various aspects of the blessed Renaissance, including landmarks, customs and traditions, in addition to the beauty of the Omani nature that show the talents of Omani artists in this field. Some of the photos displayed in the exhibition shed light on the joy of the young children on the 47th Glorious National Day. School students also took part in the event to highlight their talents in fine arts field through a number of works. The participants expressed sincere greetings and wishes on this glorious occasion and to Oman and its nation permanent welfare and prosperity. First Gulf International Neonatal Quality Conference was organized by the Royal Hospital with Oman Medical Specialty Board in collaboration with international universities. More details in the following report by Abdullah Al-Rubi'i.
The first Gulf International Neonatology Quality Conference, led by experienced and outstanding international faculty, is being held in the Sultanate with the participation of over 300 neonatologists and neonatal nurses. The two-day conference in quality improvement in neonatology and perinatal medicine aimed at enhancing the quality care through the latest update on how to improve the neonatal outcome in a positive direction.
Oh, this is a very important event because neonatal intensive care is a complex, very complex environment. There are many problems we need to address to improve the quality of the care for these patients. So in the conference here, over the next 2 days, or we have discussed it 2 days ago and we'll continue for the next 2 days.
Basically, regarding this conference, it's an international quality improvement in the field of neonatology. In summary, all neonatal problems in all the countries are a lot of areas of similarity. bringing experts from North America, from Europe, and other countries.
It's my immense pleasure to be able to contribute and participate in this very important meeting. People from all over the Arab world and internationally are here to share data, collaborate, and help improve the health of newborns in this country and in other countries. And we are very happy to be part of.
Common complications is that these babies are so premature and they are at risk of death and morbidities. So we need to work together, and this kind of conference will invoke the sense of people to work together, collaborative, to make some improvement in quality is what we are looking for.
I work at the Columbia University neonatal intensive care unit. You can say I'm the pioneer of the bubble nasal prong CPAP, and we found out this premature baby, if you put them on bubble CPAP, you can prevent another complication. If you otherwise you will intubate the patient, put on respirator, and that's will cause another complication for the premature baby.
Prior to the conference, 2 days hands-on workshops were held. The workshops focused on neuro and ICU course, bubble CPAP, especially for those born extremely preterm, a major challenging of modern neonatal care. It also covered integrated hemodynamics, which focused on how to interpret multiple tools of hemodynamics evaluation in sick infants.
Well, these premature babies face problems in all of their body systems because they are born with immature body organs and systems, and therefore we really have to try to optimize the normal progression of their development as if they had remained in utero, which is where they should have been. We are making great strides, and I know that here in Oman, the neonatologists are making great strides in improving the outcomes of these babies.
Experts work hard for better neonatal care services in the Sultanate of Oman. Abdullah bin Ahmed al-Rubi'i, Sultanate of Oman Television.
And now for the general weather forecast around the Sultanate. Clear skies will prevail over the Sultanate with chances of low clouds and fog late at night and early morning over the governorates of South Sharqiya, Brahmi and Worcester. Winds will be northerly to northwesterly light to moderate. Seas will be moderate with a maximum wave height of 1.45 meters. This is the Sultanate of Oman Television. Before we end tonight's bulletin, here are the main points once again. The UN aid chief says the Yemen blockade needs to be fully wound down. The UN-mediated Syria talks continue in Geneva in the latest push to find a political settlement to the nearly 7-year civil war. And militants storm an agriculture research institute in northwest Pakistan, killing 12. With that, we come to the end of tonight's news bulletin. From all of us here at the newsroom and the studios, it's good night.